Alright, so here's a box with I think most of your requests, and today I'm gonna randomly pick one and then design whatever model I pick. So now let's put on these very random Lego glasses, and I'm so excited for this. Alright, so I'm gonna choose this one. The model I will be designing is... Alright, so let's get into it. Alright, so Mini Cooper then. The question is, are you gonna go old or new? It would be so awesome to do some kind of rally or racing old Mini Cooper. But I don't know if whatever person who suggested this had that intention. Oh, maybe Mr. Bean's Mini Cooper would be really nice, but I don't have too many line parts, unfortunately. I don't know, I'm not a huge Mini Cooper fan, but I think they are pretty cool actually. Oh yes, we have to do some kind of hot hatchback version. Mini Cooper S. Are we gonna go with that? I think we're gonna go with that actually. I think that could be pretty cool. Let's start. Alright, so I've done a bit of progress now on some parts, and yeah, let's take a look. So I started a bit to create the headlights or whatever, and first my thought was to use the same like piece I use for the Porsche, modern Porsche models I build, with these Barrett pieces, because the headlight shape on the Mini Cooper and the modern Porsches are kinda the same. But I really wanted to stay away from this black color this time. I want to be a bit brighter, as the headlights aren't really dark on the real Mini Cooper. So tried this solution, where I used some of these tile rounded curved pieces and a rubber band around it, and I think this kinda works. Then I also started to create the hood a bit, and then also the grille here, where I use some bracket pieces to like build this up. And again, I also used a rubber band around this to create like the frame. But yeah, now I will just keep on building a bit and try to figure out the front a bit more. So yeah. Alright, so just wanted to super quick show you an idea I had but won't go with, but just for a bit of inspiration maybe for you. To create a frame like this for the front grille, much like with my BMW 3 Series mock. But yeah, I won't go with this because I just think this frame looks a bit too thick all around, but I'm gonna keep on building. Alright, so finally figured out a way to create the front, and as you saw, the first one I crashed and I started a time lapse, and I actually cut off the time lapse because it just took so much time. And I always get surprised about the solutions I come up with for these things, because it's just crazy. First of all, I think the headlights look a little bit too thin. The grille, I probably made 3 different grille designs, or actually 4 different designs I think. But yeah, I ended up with this pretty simple solution. And then probably the most advanced part, or actually nothing is advanced when you have figured it out. But yeah, it was really complex to come up with. This particular part is just crazy. It's quite a lot of upside down building techniques with this, by using some of these 1x1 plates with a hole and these 1x1 round tiles with a bar to get an upside down technique. And then we have some brackets and also some of these modified bar pieces with like a round plate to angle this thing with the curved slope that has a wedge. And then of course the headlights are also angled a bit with those bar pieces. But yeah, I will also try to make the hood openable. Maybe I can see now that I don't know, with a bit of engine details inside. And now I'm also gonna start on the rear, so yeah. As you can see here, what I've done with the rear lights, I took one of these 1x2 tile transparent red pieces and attach them in the middle like this to not only make them a bit lower but also have this stud that you kinda can see, which kinda makes up the round light inside this transparent thing that is on the real car as well. And then we just have some studs on the side techniques with these slopes. And also decided to use this type of windscreen, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna use it. I'm not a huge fan of it, and I think it kind of looks a little bit too high or long here. I also thought about maybe making the trunk or whatever openable, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I am still gonna do the engine bay and doors openable. And speaking of the doors, I created a door here, which I think looks really good, and I used this kind of new technique, at least for me, to create the mirrors. It takes use of one of these bar pieces and a lever piece. And then it's actually not that much, or actually I also start to create the roof, which have this checker pattern. And yeah, this Mini Cooper will now resemble the 2015 John Cooper, not the Mini Cooper S. And yeah, that car don't really have this checker pattern, but yeah, I've seen this type of checker pattern on a lot of Minis before, and I kind of wanted it. And you know, it's Lego, so you can do whatever you want. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep on building. I'm really liking how this is starting to turn out. I think it's gonna be a great model actually. I'm just gonna keep on building, so yeah, let's do that right now. Alright, so ran into some issues now again. Let's take a look. So, first of all, the openable engine bay here. As you can see, I removed these rubber bands from the headlights, and it's a good reason for that. Because my first thought was just to have this like 4-stud wide part to open, like from the black parts and inwards, to just have that part open as the engine hood. And then, wait, I'm gonna remove this actually now, and then have these like outward parts sit on their own in an angle. But as you can see here, I attached these like curved wedge pieces, these, with some corner like black plates to only have like one stud attachment here, because as you can see here, this takes up quite a lot of space, this bracket. So with this hood, it like fits right. Wait, this was a bit. So as you can see here, this corner part kind of sits right between this like bracket part and the front part here. But if I would have these like outward parts sit on their own on the engine hood, then I would have to attach a curved wedge slope to the tile with something like this. But as you can see then, this kind of interferes with this bracket, so I won't be able to do it like that. So the other alternative is to have like this whole hood part open up. But now you can probably see why I removed this, because then they would interfere with these rubber bands. So yeah, that's why I removed these. But I don't know if that's the best option. I really liked these rubber bands. So therefore now I'm not sure if I'm gonna have the engine bay openable. Over to the rear, I think the rear looks really promising, but there are some issues here as well, especially here the lower part, because it's so hard to attach all the details that the Mini Cooper or John Mini Cooper or whatever rear have. And yeah, this is what I've done so far. It's like some jumper plates here, and yeah. So yeah, I really don't know, but yeah, I will just keep on building a bit. Alright, so I finally completed the rear now, and I think it turned out really well. I also decided that I will go with rubber bands instead of making this openable, because I just really liked how this looked with rubber bands. Also attached the A-pillars and kinda some C-pillars here with the wedge plates. But yeah, now it's only the interior left, and I'm probably gonna do some cinematic sequence or something, as I didn't have that in the beginning this time of the video. Let's do that right now. By the way, also I can't really decide which rims I will actually go with if I would go with these Urus type rims or these other ones. And both these are actually available at my website, but I don't know which I'm gonna go with this time. I think both looks great. But yeah, I guess I will decide that a bit later, so yeah. Alright, so I think the car turned out pretty well. So I was able to create a pretty detailed interior, and it fits 4 minifigs inside actually. And of course it has the openable doors, which I think I forgot to mention before. And I decided to go for the Urus rims for this. I'm pretty happy with the results. So yeah, I think that's all it for today. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And yeah, that's about it for today, I think. So yeah. Bye for now. Right, so those things what alright, so those things. But yeah, we'll also try to then I would have to attach the curved wedge plate. Then I would have to attach the curved wedge loop